Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. It has been a few days, but your girl is back, and I have a Peggy talk today. The young lady wrote me twice, and she's putting urgent on it, so I'm gonna go ahead and read her letter. Now, she's asking for advice. She already knows what she should do, but she just want to see if the way she's thinking about handling this is the appropriate way she should handle it. Now, let me just say that in no way, shape, or form am I any type of therapist or marriage counselor or anything like that. This is just a community coming together to help with whatever a person is dealing with. Maybe they don't have anybody to talk to, or maybe they just want their good old BFF or the internet auntie to give some good auntie advice. And that's what I'm here to do, right? So I just want to say that. So anyway, fam, I am not going to read the letter because these letters can get pretty lengthy. Like, I got a couple letters that are really long, and I'm trying to see how I could paraphrase them a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, to just pick out the good parts of it and read it. But anyway, this lady, she told me to refer to her as Sleepless in Seattle for some reason. She said, if you refer to me as Sleepless in Seattle, I'll know that you're reading my letter. So here you go, Sleepless in Seattle. So her scenario is this. She married a guy 5 years ago. Now, she has a daughter from a previous marriage. He doesn't have any children. He had been engaged before. He met her like 2 years before they got together. He was engaged to, let's make up a name, Betty. Let me write that down so I don't forget Betty. So he was engaged to Betty. They were supposed to get married and, go off into the sunset. Betty and the mom were really cool, really tight. They had a great relationship. They used to hang out together. Well, Betty cheated and got pregnant by another guy, right? Betty, when her husband found out about it, of course, the relationship ended. And Betty went on to marry this guy, and they now have a nice little family, right? So fast forward, the mother-in-law and Sleepless in Seattle don't have the best relationship because she didn't want her son to marry somebody with an existing family. She thought he should start with somebody who didn't have kids or anything like that. I think she was an overprotective mother, but he was a grown man. Now, Sleepless in Seattle is saying that her and her husband and her daughter have the best relationship, and she loves that for her daughter because he is present, he is a provider, and he is good to her. And she was like, if you ever met us, you would know that that was his stepdaughter because they have really bonded, and she loves what they've got going on. But good old mother-in-law over here, she ain't too happy about it. Like, she was like, okay, you marry her or whatever else, I'll deal with her, but she ain't too happy about it. So Sleepless in Seattle doesn't have the relationship with the mother that Betty had with the mother, but they're cordial. Like she said, they've never been disrespectful to each other. Like when they do spend time together, they'll laugh and talk or whatever else, but mother-in-law ain't never calling her to say, hey, let's hang out, let's do this, let's do that. She's like, she don't have that kind of relationship with her. And Sleepless in Seattle is like, I'm good with it because I have my family, so I'm fine, right? So all of a sudden, Betty starts calling the mother, and they've been talking. So the mother tells Sleepless in Seattle's husband, hey, I've been talking to Betty, and she wants to come over for Thanksgiving, and she wants us to meet her family. And she was like, I thought that would be such a great idea. And when the husband found out that the mother invited Betty to Thanksgiving, he is upset. And the reason why he's upset is he was heartbroken from the other lady because, he thought he was getting ready to marry the love of his life, right? And when he found out she was pregnant and all that, he was heartbroken. And say it took him a minute to get over the ex, right? And so he's mad because now he's telling his mom, you know what I went through to get over that girl. Why would you talk to her? And he was like, don't even mention her to me no more. Like, I don't even want to talk about her. And when he found out that she invited Betty and her family over for Thanksgiving dinner, he told his mom he wasn't coming unless she rescinded the offer. Unless she rescinds the offer. Now, mom don't think she should rescind the offer because Betty's got her family. She's happy over here. Sleepless in Seattle is happy with you and the kid. So she doesn't see where the problem is because she's always liked Betty, right? So the son and mother had a really good relationship. Sleepless in Seattle's husband and his mother had the perfect, well, I ain't gonna say perfect because nothing is perfect. She didn't say perfect either. But she said they had a really good relationship. Like they would go out and hang out sometimes and, have, Mother's Day. He would take her to like her favorite restaurant. They would just hang out together. Like they're close. They talk on the phone a lot, stuff like that. Since this has happened, he's barely talked to his mom. She'll call. He won't answer the phone. So Sleepless in Seattle feels like she's caught in a tough place because she understands what her husband is saying. But she don't think they should cancel. She thinks they should go to Thanksgiving dinner. The husband is refusing to go. The mother-in-law doesn't want to rescind her offer because she say that would be tacky to do that. Like, I told her 2 weeks ago they could come, and now you're telling me I got to tell these people they can't come. She was like, no, I'm not going to do it. Sleepless in Seattle understands because it is the mother's house. It's the mother's house. She could do whatever she wants to do in her house. But the son is saying, I'm your son. You know what this woman put me through. Why would you invite her to come? Why? He was just like, that don't even make sense. Like, why would you invite her? And then my wife is here. Now, Sleepless in Seattle has never met Betty. They've never had words. They didn't even have to have words because it just doesn't make sense. And as I was reading this letter, I'm like, this just sounds like it happens a lot. It seems like it's a typical story. And I'm like, Sleepless in Seattle, are you pulling my leg? I don't know. But this one was not so bad. It's cut and dry if you ask me, but we're going to add Donald into the fold to see what he has to say. But that was the whole thing. She said a whole lot of other things in there. But like I say, I just wanted to pull out the meat of what she was saying. So the big issue here is mom was good friends with the ex that cheated on her son. And the guy that the ex cheated with ended up marrying her. And they have a couple kids together and they're happy. And her son is happy with Sleepless in Seattle. And so she doesn't see the problem with everybody coming together and just having a happy time. It's a weird situation, but I feel like I've heard this before. You know what I'm saying? Like people have dealt with this stuff before. I don't know if it was around Thanksgiving time, but this just seems like a familiar story to me. And I'm sorry that you have to deal with this. I feel sorry for your husband having to deal with this, but we're going to bring on Mr. Windley and we're going to get his take on it. Like I say, she says she knows exactly what she's going to do, but she just want to read the comments to make sure that her thought process behind everything is, aligning with what other married couples or what other married women would do in this situation. So that's what she's asking. So come on in, honey bunny. Now, guys, we're on the RV right now. If you can tell, my background is different. We are in Tennessee right now, heading to Illinois. So here comes the big man.
Hey, what's going on, fam?
Hey, honey.
Hey, baby. Thanks for welcoming me to the show.
You're welcome. Come on in.
All right. So, Peggy, this time, I read the last one. I did not read this one. Peggy wanted to keep this one to herself until she shared it with you guys so I can give y'all my fresh take. The same way y'all hearing it, same time I'm hearing it. I got a lot of thoughts. I'm trying to understand why the mother would invite somebody who's not family to a family event. I can see if this lady had her son's child, or if she had broken up with her husband, that would be a clear and present indication of what she was trying to do. She was trying to bring a wedge between her son and Sleepless in Seattle. We can just call it sis, because S-I-S spells sis.
Okay, sis.
Sleepless in Seattle.
Okay, Don.
Yeah.
Come through with
the acronyms.
Come through with the acronyms. Sorry about that, y'all.
But yeah, so if he gets there, I feel like the ex Betty is going to reveal that her and the guy is not working out or some mess like that. Maybe that's kind of conversation that mother had, and she was like, "Oh, and mom still likes Betty. Maybe we can get something. Maybe we can get some kind of wedge going through." It feels trappy to me. As a man, now the husband is not the one asking us for any advice. Yeah. As a man, I'm just gonna say I'm not going. I asked her the uninvite to rescind the invitation. Yeah, that's what. If she doesn't do it, then okay, then maybe we'll see you next Thanksgiving. We'll have it at my house. No hard feelings, Mom. Love you, and that's just how it will be. I'm not gonna be put in a situation where I don't know all the cards or anything like that. I don't know what's really going on. I don't know what the motivation is. I'm not gonna be put in that kind of situation, and I wouldn't let nobody drag me into that kind of situation. And I don't know if y'all ever had your heart broken, but the betrayal of it is something that is kind of hard to overcome. And when you finally do overcome, you don't want to let somebody bring you back in, no matter how close you are with them. So, yeah. Maybe it sounds easier to me. Maybe it's hard for some people to say no to mom and family and Thanksgiving traditions or whatever else it is. But to me, it'll be a cut and dry, hard pass. But that's advice for the guy. Advice for sis. Advice for Sleepers in Seattle. Listen to your husband. If he feels super uncomfortable with it, that should be an indication to you. If he feels fine with it, if he's willing to take a chance to go and get some closure, some people like closure. Some people like that kind of stuff. So just listen. I would strongly encourage you to listen to your husband, and not try to push him in either direction. That's my advice to sis.
So you don't think they should go?
Oh, I definitely don't think they should go. Something is going on. There's got to be a reason why mom is talking to the person who cheated on her son, and she still likes that person. And that person has a kid that's not her son's kid. It's just like, what is going on here? Either her relationship is breaking down, or she's hopeful for something else, and it's just not. I wouldn't be a party to it.
Okay, so I'm going to say this on Donald's behalf, because he feels like Thanksgiving is only for family.
Yeah.
But when I grew up, see, Donald grew up Jehovah's Witness, right? So they didn't celebrate any holidays. I want to share that with y'all. But when we were coming up, everybody would come, not only your family, but people you grew up with. Like we had the house where, everybody, you grew up, and, people, the people in the neighborhood would grow up and move away, and then they would come back home with their families.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, oh, let's stop by Miss Ballard's house. I haven't seen her forever. And so they'll stop by, not necessarily to have a meal, but to stop by and say, hey, I'm in town. I want you to meet my new wife. I want you to meet my children.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Like that happens.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's not just about, it is about family,
Yeah.
but it's also about extended family. Like, you grew up with these people since y'all were 4 years old, and now everybody's 25, 30, and we've moved on and had children and we're married.
I can see that.
That's what happens. So I have to explain that to Donald sometimes, because I'm like, no, I know some things are just for family, but I think Thanksgiving, it is family, but it's also extended family.
Okay.
So I want to say that.
That's good. That's a
Now,
good point.
if they had not dated, you know what I'm saying? Like, if they weren't engaged,
If they had not been engaged,
then it would be, to me, okay for her to come by. But since you call her sis,
yeah.
Sleepers in Seattle, we calling you sis. So the situation is all messed up, because can you imagine if you were planning a wedding with somebody and then they cheated and you had to call it off?
Mm-hmm.
And now you have to explain to everybody why the wedding was called off.
Mm-hmm.
You thought you were going to spend your life with this person. You love this person. You were shocked by the way it just abruptly ended because she had to tell you she's pregnant by somebody else.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the hurt in that? Now, men handle things different than women, but apparently he was really hurt by it because he don't want to see her. You can't say her name in his presence. I'm saying this stuff, just paraphrasing, but this is what was in the letter. Like, he don't want to hear from this lady.
Yeah.
Now, if that was my son, I wouldn't have invited. Never. 'Cause my son have some girlfriends that I was like, oh, this gonna be my daughter-in-law because I like her. But then he'll introduce me to somebody else. And I'm like, yeah, but she ain't like the other girl. But it ain't my business. His relationship is his relationship. Whoever he chooses to marry, to love, that has nothing to do with me. Now, y'all giving the girl trouble because she had a baby with another guy. She's not with the guy anymore. She done moved on. She married your son. Accept it, because your son accepted it. That's all. We can't choose our children's mate. Whoever. That's why I don't. When my kids are dating somebody I really like, I don't even tell them, because as soon as I tell them, they break up with them. Anyway, I think the mother is wrong on all accounts.
Yeah.
Now, even if the mother was talking to her, she could have kept that to herself. Like, if you like her, you got, hey, how you doing? Oh, you had a baby? That's fine, that's fine. But why you got a relationship with his ex who hurt him? That's the problem. So, like Donald say, is it something behind the scenes that we don't see coming? Like you say, is she on bad terms with this husband? You know what I'm saying? Is she on bad terms? Is mom? Because why you calling my mom asking about me after all these years? I've been married 5 years now. I done moved on. I'm not even looking in your direction. Now, it is the mom's house. She should be allowed to invite anybody in the house that she want to. She paid the bills. It is what it is. Should she rescind the offer? If you ask me, the answer is yes. I talked to my son. He feels very uncomfortable with you guys coming. It is Thanksgiving time. All of his brothers and sisters will be here. I think it's only fair that he's here too. Done and done. But mom don't want to. She don't want to rescind the offer. So you rather spend Thanksgiving with her and her family and not your son and his family? That ain't okay. That's not okay. That is not okay in so many ways.
Yeah.
Now, to me, if this was something, because Donald and I dealt with something similar to this, and I'm going to tell you about it in a minute. If it were me, because you said you have a family too, sis. You have a family too. Spend Thanksgiving with your family. Or better yet, just cook Thanksgiving and have it at your house and invite your family to come over.
Yeah.
That way he won't feel, left out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, shower him with love, show him that y'all love and appreciate him, and you understand his feelings. Like, it's time for you to step up for your man and let him know that whatever he decides, we're going to rock with it. Even though you feel like he should go, I don't think you should, because it might, you don't know how he going to react to seeing her again. It could be some anger there, like, what if he want to pop old boy? Like, I don't know how he's going to feel, because this the one he cheated.
Yeah, the husband is coming too.
Yeah, the husband and the kids are coming. And then I'm like, and then who would accept such an invitation?
That's wild.
And the mother probably invited, not knowing that she would say, "Yeah, I'm gonna come."
But I'm betting the husband ain't gonna be there. I am.
No,
betting,
he shouldn't go.
No, I'm talking about Betty's husband. I'm betting that.
You don't think he's gonna come back?
I think like Admiral Akbar said. For those of y'all who are Star Wars fans, it's a trap.
It's a trap.
It just feels. And what kills me, another thing that bothers me is that the narrative around this whole thing, no matter what happens, is gonna be felt for years to come. Now, you mentioned earlier that they had a very close relationship, spoke on the phone, and him and his mother spoke all the time, and they had a really good relationship, taking out the Mother's Day events and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If he don't show up and all his other brothers and sisters show up and all the other family people show up, it's gonna be like Sleepers in Seattle is the one that's causing the problem. We didn't have a problem with anything until
but
her.
How?
That's a narrative. I ain't saying it's a good narrative. I'm saying that's what the narrative is gonna be. He always show up, but now Sis made him tell Mama not to uninvite Betty, or he ain't coming, or whatever else it is. That girl always was jealous. That's kind of stuff it's gonna be.
But to me, if this was my sibling, telling me, now I come from a big family, and one of my brothers and sisters came to me and be like, "Can you believe she invited her and her husband to come?"
Yeah.
And I'll be like, "No, I can't." And I'm going to get on the phone and call Mama and be like, "Look, you wrong for this one. You got to take your offer back. You got to take your offer back, because this is not right. It's just not right."
But like I said, I don't think husband is showing up. I think they broke up. She's separated right now, or she could be going to some AA where she got to apologize for all her past misdeeds, or who knows what. It's gonna be something crazy. I just don't think all the cards are on the table right now, because it just don't make sense for Mom to do something like that. If she loves her son as much as they seem to, as close as they were, and to do something like this just doesn't feel like there's something extra there. And maybe they should have another conversation. Now, Thanksgiving's only 3 days away, though. But,
I know, but she says she already know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
She just wanted to see what the community would say. And we've added to this story because she didn't say anything about him having siblings.
Oh, that's true.
She didn't say anything about him having siblings.
Okay.
But she did say she has family.
Yeah. So.
She didn't say anything about him, so I don't know if he's an only child or not. Sis, I'm sorry, but I didn't read that in all your letter. I didn't read that.
Yeah.
That he had brothers and sisters or anything like that. But if it were me, sis, I'm not going. I'm going to cook him a meal, a feast, and I'm going to invite all the people that loves him and he loves, Or I'll invite him to my family's home and make sure he has the best time of his life. That's what I would do, because it will be all about him at this point. And I'm sure him and his mother will have to come to terms at some point, because after the holiday is over and all things are said and done, because hopefully this don't carry over to your Christmas holiday or anything like that. Hopefully y'all could talk before it happens and just let her know, hey, I don't agree with you having her. This is what I would do. Husband, talk to your mother and tell her you've decided on your own, because I'm not making this decision. I want to go. But you made the decision on your own that you're not coming. And I'll see you at Christmas dinner, unless you invite her to that.
Yeah.
And if you invite her to that, I won't be at anything else. But Mom needs to fix the relationship that she has messed up, because I feel like this is a big faux pas on Mama's part. And I think
she overplayed her hand. She overplayed the amount of influence she had over her son. She was like, he ain't gonna say no to me. And
or she was just, because you know, you get excited when you talk to people. You're like, oh, y'all should come over for Thanksgiving, and you feel in your head, oh, they will never come.
Yeah.
And they like, yeah, I'll be
Okay,
there.
we'll be
and
there.
She's like, you know, I don't know the mother to say that. So there are so many variables in this. But the bottom line is, we're not coming.
Yeah.
Don't do this ever again, Mom, because you're hurting me. She's hurt. No parent should want to hurt their kid. You know what I'm saying? Life is short. Y'all see how crazy this world is right now? Thank God for every day that you get. You don't want to walk around miserable and stuff like that. I'm just saying, if it were me, I would correct it. And I would be like, just be honest.
Yeah.
You and my son had a bad breakup. He doesn't feel comfortable enough to be around you.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to have to rescind my offer.
Yeah.
And maybe you and I can have coffee another time. But why are you hanging out with his ex anyway? That is so weird to me, because if it was the mom's ex, she would be upset if the son was hanging with.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? You got to put yourself in other people's shoes sometimes.
Yeah.
But again, we just keep talking about the same thing over and over. But basically, the mom is wrong. And I hope that she will come to her senses before Thanksgiving. But don't you go over there, because ain't nothing over there for you. You go and spend time, sis. Go spend time with your family, or you cook a meal at your house and invite your family over there, and dote on your husband around that time, because Thanksgiving he's going to be thinking about it. He's probably going to be angry. He's angry right now. I can't believe my mom is doing what she's doing.
Yeah.
Let your husband know that you are on his side, but there's nothing y'all can really do, because that's her home and she can invite anybody in there that she wants. Okay? So, yeah.
That's my advice to sis, is listen to your husband. He's probably gonna want to sound off a little bit. He might share some things that he haven't shared with you about the relationship between him and Betty, and the things that he went through and stuff like that, and how much it impacted. Because a lot of times men internalize everything. We don't want to share or sound vulnerable or seem weak or any kind of way or something like that. So he might just be there for him, listen to what he has to say, and follow his lead on this one.
Yeah.
That would be my advice to you.
I can understand the feeling
of
betrayal on his part, because, you know, if don't nobody else understand, your mama should understand. I just wouldn't have never done anything like that. I wouldn't have, because even though I don't agree being judgmental, see, I'm not going to be like that though. Even though I don't agree with who he married, you know, like they didn't want him to marry her because the girl had the baby or whatever else. Y'all still holding on to that. They 5 years in, look like they trying to make it last. So you can get over that. You don't have to be her, you know, the mom don't have to be her best friend, but respect is respect. I just wouldn't do. I don't know, people do. Why do people go through all of that to hurt somebody? Because that, to me, that why would you do it other than
I think she just
to sit
overplayed her
back.
hand.
Yeah,
she want to be able to keep seeing the ex girlfriend and not have to be a secret and stuff, and just.
But she could have done that privately.
We can go ahead and get this stuff out of the way, and that way we can all be friends and stuff like that. And maybe she's hoping for everything.
Yeah.
But you don't spring that on somebody.
My son had a girlfriend that I just adored. I'm telling you, I adored this young lady.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is going to be my daughter-in-law. I'm telling you, I loved this young lady.
I remember this.
And she wrote me and she was like, well, it's over. I was like, don't tell me that. I said, don't tell me that. I said, you're supposed to be my daughter-in-law. And she, you know, we would write every now and then. She still has my phone number now. She hadn't picked up the phone to call me. But she'll write me, and on my birthday and on Christmas, Mother's Day and all that, she'll send me a text, and she always says, hey, how you doing? I miss you and stuff like that. Like she's been doing it for the last, 4 years. And I still think she should be my daughter-in-law. I still think she should be my daughter-in-law.
But son didn't get remarried or anything like that.
Well, he was married. He's never been married.
Yeah.
But I get it. But if my son, which he did, he chose somebody else. She's not that girl. I ain't gonna say your name because I know you watching the channel. But I ain't gonna say her name. But I still respect, you know, the new girl. I respect her. Hey, how you doing? That's all I got.
That's all I got.
That's all I got. Ooh, sorry, y'all, the thing fell. But anyway, just wanted to bring that to you. Don't forget to put in the comments if you would go, if you would stay home, what would you do? Just if you were in this situation, what would you do?
Yeah.
That's it.
I like this is a more relaxed discussion because there's no like relationship on the line really. It's just a kind of thing that if you're getting married or new to marriage, in-laws can be tough sometimes. In-laws can be tough sometimes. I know Peggy has no idea because everything has been so
because
sweet
it's all
with
been. I got stories. I got in-law stories, baby. I got in-law stories. I do, because just because I'm marrying into your family doesn't mean that you get to disrespect. That's a whole we should do a live on that one, baby. Because let me tell you something.
See how animated she got, boy. I wonder if she has any strong feelings about that.
I don't have any. I can't be putting all my business out here. But anyway,
It will be an interesting conversation for the future, though.
Yeah. Oh, we can talk about in-laws. That has to be alive when we talk about in-laws.
Okay.
And I'm gonna talk about myself. I ain't gonna talk about nobody else. I'm gonna talk about my in-laws. And we should have because I know some people who love their in-laws. Like, I'm telling you, you would think that the person was born into that family. Some people have great relationships with their in-laws. I was just not that fortunate. I know my sister-in-laws loved my mother because my mother wasn't the type to give you trouble. If you need help, she gonna help you. She gonna do it. Her daughter-in-laws and her son-in-laws loved her, right? That's who my mother was. But everybody loved her. She was just a people person. And I don't know why people have to make it difficult.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's always them sister-in-laws, don't it? It just seems like it. But anyway, we're going to have to do a live maybe the first of the year. And we're going to come busting in with a live about the in-laws. How to handle. Or how do you handle. Let me know if y'all will be interested in that, because it'll be
in-law horror story. Everybody got
it don't have to be a horror story, because like I say, there are a lot of people who love their in-laws. But it's just us over here. It's a few little dustings over here that don't. Did you love your mother-in-law?
Oh,
he did.
But,
not your first one.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm talking about my mother. You see how he paused?
No, I was thinking about my first marriage and stuff. But
why would you be thinking? We'll be right back after I give him a black eye.
No, Medea was awesome.
My mother was amazing.
Yeah.
You know she was. Look at me. My mother was amazing. Donald's mother was amazing too.
Yes.
She was. It was just.
It was a strained relationship.
It was strained, and it didn't have to be.
It didn't have to be strained.
It didn't have to be.
No.
Because who could like me for a daughter-in-law?
It was just strained. It was religious aspects to it. It was old.
It just had all the things. All the things.
Exactly.
But listen, we're going to come kicking in January, and we're going to talk about that thing. So the first week of January, because I got to do my Vlogtober and stuff like that, so I'm not going to. Vlogmas. I'm not going to do it in December, because December's supposed to be all about family, love, hope, love, joy, life, all of that thing. But we're going to kick in January with in-laws. That's a movement, baby.
That's a movement, baby.
All right, fam. So thanks for hanging out with us today, and I will see you in the next video. I told y'all I've been gone a little bit because your girl was under the weather. I'm feeling a little bit better. And so, yeah, we are heading to St. Louis. We'll actually be there tomorrow. We'll be there tomorrow. This is day 2 of travel. But tomorrow we only have 4 hours. It's been raining like cats and dogs here.
Oh my goodness.
In good old Tennessee. We're in Middleton,
Tennessee. Yeah.
Middleton, Tennessee. So we will talk to you in the next video. So until the next time, fam. Bye-bye.
All right.